Hello, my name is John Rose, and in this video I'd like to take a closer look at the difference between a secular humanist and a scientific pantheist. And the best way to tell the difference would be to use M. Scott Peck's 4 stages of spirituality, where the secular humanist would be in stage 3 and the scientific pantheist would be in stage 4. Obviously, I can't speak for the secular humanist or the scientific pantheist, but I believe that the main difference is that the scientific pantheists understand the interconnectedness with everything. That everything is interconnected with a spiritual thread, and there is an unseen order to things. To a pantheist, the entire universe is a hologram. All of it is in every bit of it. That's the beauty of a hologram. When you break a hologram, each piece has every bit of it in it. You can see everything everything is in that one piece. You can still see the entire picture in that one piece when you break a hologram. Meaning that we're all specks of the little green pea. We're all one. And the difference between these two stages, stage 3 and stage 4, are explained in more detail in another video I did called The Raw Food Stages of Spirituality, where I explain M. Scott Peck's 4 stages of spirituality in detail, and I explain the connection with raw food and how the best way to understand all of this, to be able to see the interconnectedness in things, is to not have to intellectualize about it. We should sense it and feel it. And we're not capable of doing that because we're destroying the nutrient that allows us to do that. Remember, we lost one of our senses from the fall of mankind. We're supposed to be a 6th sense species, and we're only a 5th sense species. That's why we struggle as a species. We're senseless. We don't know we're all one. We don't know we're interconnected with a spiritual thread. We're in denial that there's an unseen order to things. At least some of us are. And when we look at stage 3, this would be the skeptics. These would be the atheists and the agnostics. The stage 4 are the mystical communal. They see the interconnectedness in things. That's the scientific pantheist. The secular humanist, atheist, agnostics, at least the agnostics are honest with themselves and admit they don't know. The atheists just haven't studied this enough to really understand it. They just look at what's being thrown at them from people in stage 2 and throw everything out because the stage 2 argument's not good enough. So, and I can understand why they are offended. I go into that in that video, how a lot of people that are in stage 3 get offended with people in stage 2 because everybody in stage 2 pretty much thinks everyone else was in stage 1 and they need to be saved, they need to be born again. And what's interesting is when you're in stage 2, if you're 2 levels above to someone in stage 4, they are threatening to you because you can't understand them. You see, people in stage 4 understand the great books that are written. And people in stage 2 believe in them too, but they believe in the letter of it. Where stage 4, they believe in the spirit of it. They understand it metaphorically. Where people in stage 2 can't do that. They have to have black and white. They can't have any gray areas. If they come from stage 1, that was chaotic, antisocial, their life was characterized by being in chaos. They needed something to give them order. So the first stage in M. Scott Peck's stage of spirituality is the chaotic, antisocial. These are the people with zero spirituality. They have an unharnessed will. These are the real bad people in our lives. They don't have any kind of conscience. They're the robbers, the thieves, the murderers, etc., etc. And what happens is, in this stage, is their life is characterized by chaos. And that, according to Peck, when people ever get in touch with that, many times they kill themselves. But usually they find some institution, which is the 2nd stage, an institutionalized stage, where they find somebody to give them some order. And that could be the prison, it could be a big company like IBM, it could be the military. But most people in stage 2 are churchgoers. Now it's important to differentiate the fact that it's not all clear cut. It's not like I'm in 2 and that's it. A lot of us have a little bit of everything. People who are churchgoers, a lot of them are in stage 4 too. And a lot of them are skeptical, they're in stage 3. And remember, it's hard for people that are strictly into how to understand people in stage 4, because they both believe in the same concepts, but it confuses them because they can't think in these type of metaphorical terms. They have to see things black and white. So this ties into the video I did this morning, and I'm doing it based on some of the comments that I saw that have been made from people who are obviously atheists and look down on religion and spirituality. And I've explained this in many of my other videos, and especially my raw food stages of spirituality, that religion and spirituality is represented in 2 different places on my special teaching tool. One of them is one of our subsequent needs because we're disconnected. And the other is that it can be a problem in knowledge. So yes, religion and spirituality can be used against us. And that's what's being done right now. And I illustrated that in the video I did this morning with Pharaoh's favorite formula. Religion is being used against us. Divide and conquer. Just look within the Christian religion in itself. Look how many different branches there are. They can't even be one in there. Why are there so many different denominations? There's a divide and conquer within that own religion. And then you got the religions and the Muslims, and et cetera, and it's all divide and conquer. It's all a distraction. I've said this 1,000 times, and I'm going to keep saying it over and over. Everything is a distraction unless we're getting reconnected. Flat Earth, major distraction. You guys are bozos putting any energy into that. When there's a battle going on, we have an enemy out there that's controlling us. And the only way to defeat that enemy is be the best that we can be. And don't go down any rabbit holes until we finish this battle. Once we finish this battle, then we can settle those other things that aren't important. Oh, but it proves we're being lied to. It proves they're stealing money from us. It's not important. It doesn't solve any problems. There's only one thing that can solve our problems. We've got to correct the main mistake we're making. And that's the whole purpose of my channel, is to help wake up the world to realize what the fall of mankind is. We're eating the wrong food. We are what we eat. Why can't we extrapolate that and realize that's why we have problems? Addictions, denial. Remember, I've identified 21 main problems of knowledge, 55 altogether. And what's the easiest way to deal with every one of those? Test an idea as time has come. Do the first of my 3-step process, a solid food vacation. If you don't want to take the quantum leap approach, go to a raw vegan diet, and good luck. It's not easy to eat better when you're still eating. The easiest way to deal with things that are controlling us is to stop feeding it entirely. Take a vacation from that solid food. You won't be hungry. Energy level is going to skyrocket. You're going to poop your brains out, or at least the serpent. You're going to bump up those biophotons. You're going to reset your feedback system, so when you go back to eating crap, you're going to go, this ain't food. And when you eat the right food, your taste buds are going to quiver. You're going to finally realize what true hunger is. You're going to get rid of the hunger spell. We are under the hunger spell. If you feel anything down here, that's not where true hunger is supposed to be. That's the fall of mankind. When we lost our senses, we lost our true sense of what it's meant, of how we're supposed to know we're hungry. It's supposed to be a watering sensation, a pleasant sensation. It's not supposed to be a morbid, all-gone withdrawal type of symptom sensation, which is what we got. I did several videos on the Hunger Games. Google John Rose, type in Hunger Games. Currently, you type in John Rose, I will be the #1 Google search. So now it's easy to find any of my other videos. Just Google search John Rose in whatever video I'm talking about. And it should just pop right up. It'll save me time to having to put it down below. I've tried to do that every time as much as I can, but sometimes I forget. So remind me, or if I hadn't, put it up there for me. Help me out some. And remember, this is an exciting time to live. We can wake up and realize that we got to unite with one another. We got to stop looking at the difference that's in the line in the sand, as that video pointed out this morning. What's the difference between these two religions? It's just a line in the sand. They're the same religions. It's the same 2 rays from the same light, or 2 rays from the same light. We got to stop looking at the differences, and that's the difference between the 3rd stage and the 4th stage of spirituality. When you go from stage 3 to stage 4, what happens? You stop looking at the differences and you look at the similarities. Stop looking at one stupid difference and wanting to fight over it and think you're different, and realize, my God, we're one and the same. We're both trying to do the same thing. Our stories are slightly different. And remember, religion and spirituality is a subsequent need. It's very comforting for a lot of people. So you atheists, stop poo-pooing something, because we need something until we reach the tipping point and get reconnected. Remember, that's what we're missing. We're missing piece number 30, the community, which some people might call spirituality, but no, it's community. We don't have it because we're disconnected. That's why we have these subsequent needs. Remember the word religion, the root word religio, to connect. That's the purpose of religion, to help fill that void that we don't have because we're missing those biophotons, which are destroyed when we cook our food, which is why we lost one of our senses. The same with spirituality, the interconnectedness of things. If you think about it and focus on it, you can do a lot of things and elevate yourself considerably. And it's a lot like squinting in order to see better. But we shouldn't have to squint. All we have to do is bump up those biophotons. So in many ways, religion and spirituality is sort of like squinting so we can feel connected better. So if you don't understand it, if you don't need it, fine. But realize it is a subsequent need because we're disconnected. And also realize that all these needs are going to change as conditions change, and will vary from one person to the other. Some people will find comfort in it, some people won't find any at all, and you might not need it. And what's the solution? Just get reconnected. Now that's the solution. But even then you can get rid of hypoheliosis A on a collective level, but then we have that hypoheliosis B on a collective level. The A is individual, the B is collective. And the problem that we have, even if we do get reconnected individually, our species is still disconnected. So we can still find a lot of comfort by doing different religious and spiritual practices. And the key is not to fight. Get along, unite. Well, how's that saying go? The enemy of my enemy is my friend. We have a common enemy. It's a small group of people who are controlling us. But then they're a reflection of us, so we're the enemy. We've got to be the ones that change. We are the heroes. The bell's got to change. The edge of the bell, we can't cut them off. The saints and psychopaths on the edges of this bell of behavior, the bell's got to change. We've got to change. That's where you play a role. Be the best that you can be. Stay on the hero's journey. Share this message. Give me a thumbs up if you like my videos, if you like my message. Subscribe to me. Help me grow so that we can put an end to this needless madness. Because if we can reach the tipping point, my friends, all of us will be in for a treat.